Okay, Barbara, ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Good morning, Dr. Barbara Johnson. Yeah, are you? And I cannot
Um,
believe we're on chapter 10.
yes, yes, you. 10 stepping stones to get on with your life. Chapter 10.
And what is chapter 10 about, Barbara?
It's all about results. How do we know we've got some results? How do we track and measure results? How do we connect everything that we do in life into a place of results across the 8 dimensions of life? How do we know we've got results in the creative cycle, the beginning, the middle, the end of a process? How do we know? The whole idea of yes, yes, use 10 stepping stones to get on with your life are tools that interlink, that are integrated, and results are part of that integration. For when we understand our results, we can therefore know what works, know what doesn't work, and therefore know what to tweak. The whole process, Ron, of the results in Yes, Yes, You is a process of from within out. So, what leadership qualities do we need in the external world? Be it that you're a mother, a father, a boss, an employee, what leadership do you need to bring? And the thing is, Ron, leadership starts from inside. It is not from the outside. Yes, we can learn external skills on the outside, but initially, the vitality, the values, the vision that we carry into life comes from the inside out.
And Barbara, it's quite interesting you mentioning this. And before we started uh, the Zoom meeting or the podcast, as we can say, is I asked you a question. How was the week? And it says, awesome. And everything is falling into place. So it's not just because you read you wrote the book, you implemented your skill set to show people what you've learned through your years of experience by putting it into the book for people like myself to apply those 10 stepping stones in life to grow where I want to go. Doesn't matter if the pain is there, because the pain has also got results. And this is what I like about it. And
Exactly. And you know, that on that note, Ron, you've hit such a vital point. It is the pain, it is the frustration that creates the newness. It's not the frustration or the pain that kills us. No, if we understand the process of life, it is the pain and the frustration that grows us.
and I just want to get to a point, what Steve Harvey said. You have to be uncomfortable to be comfortable. And and this is what your book's about. You have to be that uncomfortable. As you said, leadership it grows from inside. You cannot learn it. You cannot go to university. You can have all the skills. You can even have the skills of your book, but it has to come from the inside because leadership has got to do a lot with listening to others at the same time. The listening is for me also one of the key ingredients of where you want to go. Sometimes when we're young, I'm just using that as an example, we bump our heads because we think we know everything. But your book helps us out to figure out those little stepping stones and learn to the life skills of professional people like yourself. Uh, what do you mean by accumulated and compounded consciousness living in your book?
Well, results are part of what is accumulated in the actions that we take. It's the accumulation of which actions. That's the question. Because we can be busy, but it doesn't mean that we're being productive or in alignment with our values or our vision. We can only understand that our results come from our behaviors, our actions, our mindset, all based on our conditioning, Ron. And until we challenge our conditioning, the results that we have will not change. It is the conditioning that needs to be pulled from the subconscious mind into the conscious mind. That accumulation, compounding consciousness of living that we can now see from the subconscious mind. Ron, 95% of our being is in the subconscious. We have been trained into this place. And unless we challenge it and recondition our conditioning, we're going to have the same results. The thing is, the problem, the pain, the frustration started here with me, with us. And it is until we challenge these pains and frustrations, create from these pains and frustrations, ask people for help in these pains and frustrations, take on mentorship or coaching, something that changes our view of the world. It is in the objective, not the subjective, that we get to understand that something new can happen, that we are enough to be that creative human being that is now required.
And Robert, it reminds me what you just said there of a cartoon. There are two characters. Both are going down the mine shaft. And the one with his conscious mind will stop 2 centimeters away from the gold, and the other one persists to go through. Our life is always, because we're only 2 centimeters away, we might only be 1 centimeter away or 1 millimeter away to break through. But life gets too hard, we give up. I mean, I just look at what's actually happening in the world with the war. I think South Africa is on the up because every ship might have to come through the harbors. The harbor's going to increase. The opportunities are there. People are looking. I mean, yesterday I was just reading, America wants to invest to 100 companies. But we will blame ourselves of, oh, there's no opportunity. We have to do this, we have to do that. But the opportunity is where we're sitting, where we see. I mean, and this is what this book is about, which brings me to the point. How does creating a daily life plan help people on these lessons, Barbara?
I have a morning ritual. I call it my yellow velvet armchair hot tea ritual. In short, yacht. I sit in my yellow velvet armchair with my hot tea every morning, and I do this work. And I don't think, there we are.
Yeah.
That's just the outline of it. I sit and I work out what does today need to look like. I need to know that I am living a meaningful life, a life on purpose. Unless we plan our days run away from us. Chaos creates chaos. Order and design creates order and design. No plan, somebody else has the opportunity to pull us by the nose and take us into their plan. If we do not have a plan, and we just allow life to show up any which way, we're going to be lost. I'm not saying don't be flexible. I'm not saying don't give yourself the opportunity for an outing or a pleasant tea or a pleasant somebody in your life. No, I'm saying to you, have all of that, but make sure that the fundamentals of the day are jotted down. Do them, and what you can't do, carry over. It is the plan that helps us live into a life that has order. And here is a schedule by which I live. So daily, I have a book that I write my goals, etc. in, and I have a sheet on which my goals are written, and I get to tick them off for a month, so that at the end of the month, I have a patterning of my results based on what I have done or not done. The patterning tells a marvelous story of what I have done, and very often we get to do a whole lot more than we acknowledge in ourselves. And what about what I haven't done? Where's the procrastination? Why is there procrastination? What can I do about the procrastination?
And Barbara, I just love what you just said about tracking your daily activities. Because the goals is not just goals of reaping a reward on monetary value. A goal is maybe, okay, a spring coming up, I need to clean my cupboards. Or I need to wash my car. So I'm just using that as an example. Reward yourself with a cup of coffee when you wash your car, because it's a reward that you feel comfortable with, because that is, you have to reward yourself, because chasing goals at the end of the day and not being rewarded is just as bad. That's my opinion. The second,
100%. I'd like to add a bit to that. 100%. So part of my tracking, planning, tracking, doing is at the end of the day or throughout the day, because that works better for me. Throughout the day, I actually write up the wins, the rewards, the things that have happened out of the blue, the things that have been results, which I didn't even plot or want or think about, but have happened anyway. You know, Ron, just like that lovely analogy of the little bee who goes to the flower to collect the pollen. Sorry, not to collect the pollen, to eat off the flower, to take the nectar. And in its journey, it collects pollen. In its journey, it does the world a huge, huge favor by pollinating from one tree to the next, producing fruit that wasn't the intention in the goal, but fruit that happens anyway. And we have a chance when we plan, when we action, when we note the wins, that we get to see the fruit, because it is the fruit that keeps us motivated and fired up for the next day and the next day and the next day.
and Barbara, it's so true. I mean, it's such a small insect, but take that insect away and the world can collapse.
Yeah.
It's the small things in life that matters a lot.
Yeah.
And that's a key, which comes to the point where it says, can you explain how tracking and reflecting that improves your results?
When you track, you can reflect. When you reflect, you see patterning. When you see patterning, morning, you congratulate yourself. When you congratulate, when you see pat of procrastination, you something you know something hasn't, you stop doing it. Tracking helps you reflect, and reflection gives the
Yes, sorry guys, just a bad connection on the internet. Barbara, yeah, you're back. Um, so Barbara, I think the internet just went. You're muted, Barbara. We're waiting for Barbara to come on. What we've done, Barbara and myself, and it's going now for nearly 6 months, we created an accountability group or accountability partnership where we chat about wins and challenges. So whatever we reflect on for that day, we create what is your wins and what's your challenges. So Barbara, thank you. I see we're back. What tools and methods do you suggest for daily scheduling?
well, here's another one. This is my weekly planner. I do believe on a day-by-day basis, over a week, we need to know what the week is going to look like. There are things that change in a week. But if we do not understand the fundamentals of a week, and I'm talking about going across the 8 dimensions of our lives, just like I've written in a book called Wimp to Warrior. The whole concept is to have a balanced, integrated, energized, full human experience. Our human potential comes through when we address all 8 dimensions of our lives. So yes, you saw now the schedule plan, and you have seen the goals and the wins journal. The creative cycle is a beginning, a middle, and an end. And what I've been doing lately is I've been doing a creative cycle inclusive of the 8 dimensions of life, which gives me such a fabulous, balanced, integrated, conscious living that I feel that my energy has risen. I feel that my interaction with my work has improved, and my productivity and my engagement. My contribution to the world has improved because of the tracking methods that I've been using.
Barbara, which is great. And what patterns are there and behaviors and actions? Did you hear me there, Barbara? Can you hear me, Barbara?
I can't, no.
Okay. Can you hear me now? How can people notice patterns in their behaviors and actions?
Oh, fantastic question. So here it goes again, the journaling. The journaling is a fantastic way to do your reflection work. Journaling allows you to take it out of your head, out of your subconscious, out of your head, onto paper. Journaling gets you to see the patterns. Journaling gets you to see the crazy nonsense that's going on in here. Journaling gives you the opportunity of genius. I can only call it that because when the subconscious comes to the conscious, to the paper, and you get to see it logically, objectively, you get genius. And genius creates an action plan, and an action plan creates new behaviors, and new behaviors creates new
results. And Barbara, what's important is a lot of times people mustn't get confused of getting a journal book, which gives you a daily activity. is total different to the journaling of just getting an A4 book, getting a pen. It's one of these little pens what I've got. I don't know if you can see it. It's where you can scroll down and you can click on different colors because each color means a meaning. Yeah, at the end of the day is using the colors to bring out the green, which is go, or red is maybe, which is important. And that's what's important with having an A4 page or A4 book on journaling, and not just having a normal book and writing your daily activities. How many glasses of water did I drink? That's total different in a journal and a journaling, what you're going to do. And that's where I got confused in the beginning. But since I've been working with you on journaling, and that helped me a lot with my roadmap, which links to my journal book, to have the entries in that I can reflect on what my goals are. So, and this is what's quite important with this book of Dr. Barbara Johnson, Yes, Yes, You, which has got the 10 stepping stones of life, which I've been reading, and it helps me out quite a bit of creating my life story.
I'm back. Are you?
Yes, I'm back here, Barbara. So, Barbara, I just want to get to basically to the last point. How does this chapter tie up in the 10 stepping stones together with everything that we discussed? Are you there, Barbara? Are we there? Just the last question, Barbara. Two questions. What does the chapter tie? Okay, how does the chapter tie all 10 stepping stones together?
Everything is entwined. Everything in this book, 10 stepping stones, is a process. It's a 10 stepping stone system of internal reflection. Everything is tied together. Results are part of that system, and they work beautifully together. And quite frankly, only after writing the book did I realize this must have been divinely inspired, because the flow is so amazing and the connection is so amazing. The 10 stepping stones are now a system. And yeah, this is all about finding self, our true self, and our unique happiness.
Anybody that wants to purchase the book is on Amazon. The bio of Dr. Barbara Johnson's will also be in the description, that you can link directly to her, as well as the Amazon link. So, Barbara, the last question, what is your final message to listeners about creating their life plan?
Have one. Have a life plan. Know what it is that you're after. Do what you need to do. And what am I saying about that? I'm saying, what is your divine purpose? What is your passion? Focus on your passion. Know that that is your focus. Anything else is secondary. Your passion gets you out of bed every morning. Your passion drives you. Your planning, your schedule, whatever it is all based on your passion. And do that passion, and you will have a plan for your life.
Barbara, that's quite an interesting point you put across, your passion, because I was struggling with passion. And I just want to maybe mention something and maybe get your opinion on this. Everybody has been born with a gift, and everybody is trying to follow a passion. As I said to a person the other day, my passion is to help people out of with financial literacy, because I went through certain pain to figure out where my passion is. But I realized it's not just my passion, it's my gift, what it was given to me. My passion is singing. And I said to my wife, I think I want to be a singer. And says, why do you sing in the bath? I said, yes. He says, I must bath more often, which means I'm not going to be a good singer. But if it's your purpose and passion to get up every morning to do what you want to do, just do it. And this is what your book is about, is those stepping stones. Because we're all born with a gift. All we have to do is find that gift. And that gift, you'll find it in those 10 stepping stones. We've got another 2 Zoom or podcasts on this book, but I'm excited for April when we're going to do Wimp the Warrior. And Wimp the Warrior is going to start putting the 8 dimensions of life together. And wow, what a book on those 8 dimensions. So if you want the book, please, you'll find it also on Amazon. And Barbara, what's your last words that you would like to say to the audience?
Definitely buy my books. And definitely find out what your purpose of life is. You know, Ron, I was asked when I was 3 years old, apparently, what I wanted to be when I grew up. And my answer was a teacher. And I have been a teacher in one way or another all my 72 years. And what I love about knowing my purpose is it gets me out of bed. It keeps me fired up. Even in the doldrums, there's a spark, and that's all I need is a spark, and the spark fires me up. That's what we're about. That's what we came to this earth for, to live out. You called it a gift, our purpose, our gift, to live it out. Because the bottom line of this, Ron, is if we don't do that, what is ours to bring to the world will not happen. And the world itself suffers from the loss that we have not contributed to it.
Understood, Barbara. And I'm saying to the listeners, and especially school leavers, follow your purpose, follow your plan, follow your gift. Don't listen to your parents. Don't listen to the government. Focus. Because you never know if you're going to be the next Einstein or the Florence Nightingale or the Bill Gates. Live your dream. Write it down. As you said, Barbara, at the age of 3, you were a teacher. And I just want to finish off with Steve Harvey. I was listening to him this morning. It says, at the age of 10, he wrote down he wants to be on TV. And his teacher said to him, you're going to be on TV. You can't even read properly. You stutter wherever you go. It says when he turned 27 and he became successful, every year he sent his teacher a TV. So we all can be a Steve Harvey. We can all be a Bill Gates. Just by Dr. Barbara Johnson's book, The 10 Stepping Stones, or Yes, Yes, You, that will help you out to become the person you want to be. So on that note, Barbara, thanks a lot and have an awesome week.
Thank you, Ron. Have an awesome week.
There we are.